Hi, my name is Olgierd Cygan. I'm the CEO and managing partner of Digital One, which is one of the oldest interactive agencies in Poland. And it is my pleasure to have a lecture here on building digital experiences using video online. Short agenda. We'll go through some facts and figures, think about why video becomes more and more popular on net. Then I will show you some examples, and finally 5 tips on how to engage through online video. First of all, I decided to put a quotation here from one of my favorite books, which is The Experience Economy by Joseph Pine and James Gilmore. The book is generally about how in today's world, in today's economy, companies must behave, operate in order to satisfy their customers. And the main important thought is that it is not only about providing proper services to customers, but to provide memorable experiences. And I think that today, the network, the internet, the e-marketing itself is at such point when we can't afford just to be there and to publish, let's say, almost boring content. We have to fight for customers' attentions, and video is one of the solutions here. I don't think anyone will disagree with that sentence. Internet had definitely changed the world, and now customers are in control. Especially young users don't appreciate the traditional model of communication, and they don't like when brands tell them what to do, how to do, and don't listen to their needs. So brands have to change, have to try harder, and have to fight for customers' attention. And we've learned in a, let's say, sometimes even painful way, that traditional content, traditional methods don't work. It's not a solution to move, for example, the content from TV to the internet, because the expectations are much, much higher. So if we are a brand owner, we constantly have to improve, constantly have to innovate, to look for new solutions and think how to engage our customers. If we said that internet has changed the world, definitely by what's going on, how the internet is evolving right now, we can say that video has changed the internet. And one of the brands on the web, which is, let's say, almost most successful in doing this, is of course YouTube. Okay. Going quickly through some research I've conducted before my presentation, I've run across a very interesting report prepared by eMarketer.com, so one of the research companies monitoring trends and behavior online, called The Video Content, a Premium Opportunity. And the most important saying is, it seems like there is a video everywhere you look online. And it's true. Whenever we go, wherever we go, whatever we are looking for, there is always some kind of the video format used, video idea, video project, on almost every site, starting from news, going to e-commerce, and of course on e-marketing projects. If we look through some facts, it's from Nielsen Online Video Census report covering the changes in video online. It is the table showing top online brands utilizing video. We can see that YouTube, with 95 million users, is for the numbers are from August, as far as I remember. It's 95 million users, so it is the most popular destination for people looking for video content online. The others, we can return the others to see better, like Hulu or Yahoo, are far, far behind YouTube, but growing very quickly. Hulu, I don't know how many of you know the brand, the concept. Hulu is changing, of course, the way the traditional media companies are approaching internet, and it is the new model of giving proper legal rights to show traditional content on the web. But we can also see the other traditional players like Fox, like ABC.com, which those companies today, even if they don't want, they can't afford not to be on the internet. Everyone knows that with such numbers like 95 million of consumers online on YouTube alone, you have to do this. The numbers, especially of course on the US market, the numbers showing how many users are already watching video are really impressive. And if we see that close to 2013, it will be almost 188 million of internet viewers watching video. In different forms, of course, we are talking about all available forms of video online. I think that here are some data on internet usage, but I think we'll skip it, and you will be able to see it in the presentation after the seminar. I've also placed some data from the Polish market, when of course it is the ranking of most popular sites in Poland. Of course, on the first place is Google, as almost everywhere, but YouTube is firmly in the top 10 on 9th position, growing month to month. So I think that here in Bulgaria, it is almost the same, that those sites, those portals, those websites which offer the video are rising, especially that your country is among top 10 in Europe as to the infrastructure. And we've got to remember that broadband allows consumers to watch video very comfortably. The following two slides, I think, are very interesting because they show two things. First of all, year to year, the consumption of video online is rising. In 2008, average user spent 1.57 hours online monthly, and in 2009 it's already 3 minutes. So we've got a growth of 53% year to year. In terms of number of users, the growth is not that impressive, but the numbers are, of course, much higher. Still, we are above 10%. Okay, and now it's time to ask the question, why the video content is so popular? Of course, if we concentrate on people's needs, we can imagine that in most cases, it is the type of communication that is the easiest to absorb, and we can even sometimes do many other things. And I think that from my personal perspective, it's very important that we are used to watch television for last 50, 60 years, and now we can move from just reading boring text or watching boring animations online to something that is far more engaging. And the other reasons are also very important. Of course, the internet as an interactive medium gives you the possibility of changing channels, let's say, so choosing what you want to watch instead of going through the programming that is set by the TV station and when you want it. Preparing the presentation, I found this graph showing how information is absorbed. And if we look at, of course, the text itself, so reading, we remember only 10% of what we read, 20% of what we hear. Watching a movie causes absorption of 50% of the content that is shown. So also from the brand perspective, it's very important to move toward video because it engages consumers and causes that we last longer in their mind. Okay, and there is a short quiz with prizes just before we move to some examples. Is someone here who knows this project? Okay, one person. Do you know when it was launched?
I can't remember.
You can't remember. But you know, can you tell a little bit what it's about?
I think there was a group of BMW made short films just to present the brand of BMW. And with that, a lot of internet users watched that short movies, and there were celebrities also on the movies. I think Madonna was part of one of the projects. Guy Ritchie, I think, made one of the short films and stuff like that.
Yeah, and you are completely right. So here's the prize from the shop on the airport, the original Polish leash, to exchange for the Design VG. I put this one here because, as you said, it is the series of short movies sponsored by BMW. They hired very well-known directors, actors, etc., the whole staff around the production of those movies. Clive Owen, who was at the time not that well-known and successful actor, was starring beside Madonna and some other actors. And you know, it happened in 2001. No one at that time even imagined that this kind of a project can be conducted online. They spent, I don't remember, it was like 6 or 7 different movies lasting for 15-20 minutes, but really it was kind of the Hollywood movie, not a low-cost movie for the internet, of course. They spent a lot of money, and it was available only through the internet with a schedule. Week after week, or in this kind of period, new episodes were launched on the internet, and finally the viewers could subscribe for a DVD containing all the movies, but it was only available through the internet. And it was 9 years ago, when the broadband penetration was very low. The reach of the internet, even in States, was low, and they decided to do this. The coverage of the PR coverage around the project, etc., was of course great, enormous, because it was first of the kind project, and it was really very successful. Afterwards, years later, other brands tried to duplicate or copy that idea, and some ideas in Europe were based on the idea of BMW films. Okay, let's move to some other examples showing how can we utilize video online, and how can brands benefit of building those experiences. Here is a very interesting project sponsored, I will say sponsored by Sprite, so the Coca-Cola's brand. It's Green-Eyed World, run exclusively on YouTube. It's not available on any branded website. It doesn't have any presence on Coca-Cola side beside only billboards moving to or directing to Green-Eyed World. It's a story about the girl who has been chosen from thousands of other girls in, as far as I know, in the UK, and she was. The project is about recording a music CD with the band in States, and the series is about her pathway to this CD, music CD she's going to record. Of course, every week a new episode is launched. The very interesting thing is how the whole thing is connected, of course, through social media. As you can see here, YouTube is firmly linked with Facebook. You can instantly connect to her profile, and every day something new happens. So it's very engaging. Even if you don't follow the YouTube channel and you are active on Facebook, and as we all know, there are 300 million users already on Facebook, you can be in touch with Kate, and she's personally all the time communicated with her friends, showing new things. It's kind of, let's say, type of realistic TV, because it's a lot of materials from behind the scenes, what's going on through her day in States, how she's working with her band, how she's preparing to record the movie, but also some personal things with her boyfriend, etc., etc. The good part is that Sprite, as a brand who is normally very, let's say, used to traditional communication, especially in ATL, here is like a step behind. As you can see, there's almost no sign of the company or the brand itself, only a small logo powered by Sprite. And during the whole project, Sprite is really very delicate about communication, is not attacking users. And we've got to remember that we are talking to young people who are very, very, they don't want to be attacked directly. Very similar idea from Tampax. Here's a series of web episodes about the boy, Zach, who magically has been transformed into a woman, and he lives their problems of course, from the boy perspective. And the whole series is, again, very engaging, a lot of communication, special blog, profiles on social media, but Tampax is not even present here with any type of brand exposure. From time to time, it's very delicately placed in the movie in terms of product placement. Here's another example of video and how the approach of brands to the internet is changing. mBank is a leading Central European direct bank established in Poland, and recently they've decided to start the project, the campaign, to bring other people having personal accounts in other banks to mBank, which, as you may know, is not a typical type of communication. Everyone fights for credit cards, for different type of credits, etc., etc. The personal accounts with low profit margins are on the second plan. And mBank decided to prepare the whole campaign exclusively on the internet without going to TV, targeting only active internet users. And we have prepared the whole campaign based on 3 video scenarios, on 3 movies with different scenarios that run throughout the whole Polish internet. So here we've got an example of, let's say, very common approach. You can say it's TV spot online, nothing else, nothing more. But the change in marketers' minds or their thinking is, okay, we can do such things purely on the internet. Another example from what we've got, I encourage you to visit the websites, because I have only 3 examples of downloaded movies here, but not for this one. And it is somehow interesting because we had the task, the goal was to make the presentation of new Lugo, which is a biscuit from Kraft, to make a presentation of this biscuit and show its advantages on the website in a non-typical way. And if you can imagine, it's hard to come with ideas regarding the biscuit itself in a very creative way. So we've decided to introduce 2 different characters, the boy and the girl, who are guiding consumers through two areas. One is the information area, and the second one is energy. And on the every page of the website, the video hosts present the information about ingredients, about calories, how they help during your whole day, and what can you do in order to live your day very effectively. Another approach is a project lstudio.com, which is created by Lexus Brands in the United States. It's, we call it internally Content TV. Very similar project was released by Mercedes-Benz in Germany a few years ago. It's basically, we can call it almost a TV station online. You've got several different categories of materials: humor, arts, modern life, experimental, and different stories, interviews, different video content covering those categories. What's interesting, of course, professional actors are hired and they play in those episodes. What is interesting that one of the episodes was recently awarded at Webby Awards. So you may know it's one of the most popular web contests for websites and web projects in general, for the quality of scenario and of the episode itself. From our perspective, from local market perspective, which definitely is Poland, we can say that it very rarely happens to do such a project locally, because the budgets that must be behind this kind of the project are very big, and in most cases, or in best case, we receive this kind of material and only localize it. So I think that it's a very nice thing, very interesting project, but possible only to execute on the worldwide level. And here is another example. We call it interactive video. This time, the authors went a little bit further. Instead of just placing the typical movie online and playing it, they've prepared an interactive video. This time IKEA is showing different rooms. Can we play it? Unfortunately, it's unavailable online, but we've got So as you can see, we are going through 4 different rooms, equipped, of course, with IKEA furniture. In every scene, we have 3 different, let's say, movements or operations we can execute and see how people use the IKEA furniture. Of course, these are pre-recorded video sessions, but still, user is in control and can see what happens next, can go through different variations. IKEA is one of the, I think, leading innovators in terms of using video in e-marketing projects. There were, of course, we can here sum up or choose different furnitures and check prices. IKEA is one of the leading innovators in terms of using video in e-marketing projects. Maybe you've seen some of the other projects by IKEA showing, for example, kitchen, etc., with 3D type of video going very deep inside different elements on screen. And I think that now we've moved with this example to the part when it really shows the difference between TV experience, TV commercials, and what's available on the internet. And for people, it's definitely more engaging, because if you go through those scenarios, you are involved, you remember better. What's interesting, when finally you can check different inventories and check prices, it's very easy to connect with e-commerce. And I will explain you or show one of the projects we've done for Orange this year. And especially in today's economic situation, when everyone looks at the ROI, return on investment, it's very important to show that we are not only selling brand in a typical marketing way, but we can also connect it to sales online and make people purchase different items from our inventory. That's of course, Polish brand, Wyborowa Vodka, but it's a worldwide campaign made by, as far as I remember, Wieden and Kennedy Agency, and it's also a interactive movie when you can influence the plot on the screen. And similar interactive movie from Twix, when you are helping this young guy to navigate through conversation with attractive girl and finally move closer to a lucky moment. But I strongly recommend you check this movie because it's really fun. These are only 4 or 5 scenes, but really very humoristic, and is worth spending 10 or 15 minutes. A memorable experience. And here's an example from company that always wants to shock to do something that will last in your experience. Can we play the movie? It was a project that won a few years ago. Oh, I think we will have some problems. Okay, so I will explain it shortly. This project won a Silver Lion, as far as I remember, on Cannes Lion a few years ago. It was suddenly, at one day, the Diesel.com homepage was taken over by girls who kidnapped. Oh, we won't make it. Okay, it's not a problem. By girls who kidnapped Diesel homepage and started recording movies from a hotel room with a Diesel salesman who was in handcuffs, and a lot of different things happened. The clue is that it wasn't only a video showing what happens in the room, but there was a very strong interaction with Diesel fans. You could, for example, ask those girls to do something with this kidnapped salesman, and they were having these LCD screens, so the communication was also in the opposite direction, and if the fan suggested something interesting, they could respond. So it was not only about the pre-written scenario of what happens during this project, but really users could influence the whole situation. And again, we have here something like a reality show that happens live on the web, It's of course transmitted through several cameras, so it's, let's say, almost a Big Brother type of history, but with a little touch of interaction and a lot of funny things happening that no one even knows before that something like this could happen, because it's influenced by consumers. And unfortunately, we can't see the movie, but the results afterwards were really terrific. If you search in Google for high diesel, you will not see the web page itself because it's taken down, but you will see several places in the internet with case studies and materials, videos from this one. And I encourage you to go through this, because it's really good example on how a brand can utilize video and, of course, interact with consumers. Going to the end of the examples, there are still 2 left. I decided to put something from the opposite part, as I've mentioned, regarding more e-commerce activities. As some of you may know, almost every review or electronic gadget website like CNET.com has switched from traditional product reviews with pictures and with text to more interactive ones. And if we want to present, for example, like Lenovo notebook, everything is prepared in video. The trend is also very well visible on YouTube. If you are searching for new gadgets, for new electronic devices, you will see different materials, starting from so-called unboxing, when a person unboxes, for example, a new mobile phone and showing what's inside the package. And it may sound stupid, but if you look on the counter that like 100 to 200,000 people watches such a solution, it's really amazing that people want this kind of content. We were asked by Orange Poland, by B2B department, to handle the case. They were trying to boost sales of smartphones, not only online, but in general. And during the analysis part of the project, we found out that, of course, people got fundamental problems as to the smartphones. They don't know how to utilize like 99% of functions, and they treat smartphones as something very complicated, and for most of them it's pointless to purchase such a device because it only causes problems. And we worked out the solution. We called a knowledge database. It's of course an internal code name of the project. When for every type of the smartphone that's going to be introduced to the market, we've prepared sets of materials describing the smartphone itself, describing, starting from the unboxing, from the content of the package, going through various Orange services, phone configuration, and how to handle different functions. We've prepared for every phone, we've recorded over 50 of different materials, starting from the video movie with a actor showing the general possibilities of phone, then going through with live host through, for example, marketing videos showing the content of the package, and finally going to short tutorials, video tutorials with detailed description of, for example, how to start your Bluetooth function in HTC Magic. And we've just launched the project. It's also covering the performance marketing activities. It's connected to sales, because we strongly believe that it's always worth closing the loop. So if we found, for example, through campaign in Google, people interested in particular type of the smartphone, we direct them to the knowledge database, show the possibilities, and finally, there is a special offer unavailable through any other channel. In this particular case, it's a Bluetooth set and a pen drive, completely free when you purchase it through that part of orange.pl website. And I think that in general, as mentioned earlier, it's really important not to focus only on marketing possibilities of, for example, video, but also to try to keep those people interested and have some shopping solution for them at the end. The last example of utilization of video online is, of course, viral video. And here's the chart from AdAge viral video chart. Can we play the movie now, please? And I've decided to choose one, which has almost 1.5 million of views in a single week. Sorry, I think that we won't be able to play it. So, because we are running out of time, so I encourage you to go to adage.com and look for the viral video chart. This one is about Evian brand, and it's showing the influence of Evian water on staying young, and you will show how those toddlers are playing around. Okay, quickly through 5 tips. First of all, as mentioned at the beginning, forget about moving the typical content from ATL offline activities to the internet. It simply doesn't work. Second, interaction. As you've seen earlier on earlier slides, the most successful solutions, the most successful projects are not about showing only, for example, web series. It's about connecting to people and being in touch with them, having active profiles on social media where brands can communicate with those people and listen to them and really behave like in interactive era. Third idea, of course, we can't share everything, and some projects have content that has restricted copyrights, but as long as we can think about sharing with other users, the best way to spread the brand through the internet is to allow people to embed videos on their sites, on their blogs. We've got to encourage people to move it to Facebook, and we can't think like in the old times. It's our content and no one can do anything with it. Now we should share with users, and it costs us nothing and generate the coverage and the reach for our brand. Fourth, ask people for their opinions. The biggest mistake in many projects is that we are preparing for a very, very long time, a huge project, and it's produced for like 6 months long, and then we launch it, and it is a complete failure. We should test, we should prepare small groups of beta testers, beta users, have polls, have interviews, or even very often, right now, we prepare test runs, test periods for our campaigns and check what can be improved. Is it satisfactory for the consumers or not? We've got to talk to people. And the last one, go beyond the usual. It's not, let's say, very good for our brand if we duplicate the same project that's been run or successful a year ago. For several reasons, people don't want to engage in the same activities they've done before, and we look for more innovating solutions. And that's all. Thank you very much. Again, please download the presentation or check the URL addresses I've put on the slides and have a peek look in those projects. Thank you.